Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the Monday night DDI Racing League, the Arca Series, Season 2. This is race number 5 from the Nashville Fairgrounds. I'm your host, Snake, and with me I've got my partner in crime, Smokin' Joe. Welcome, Joe.
Welcome to some Nashville's not super speedway but fairground action here tonight. Doing some short track racing here in the Arca series with the Cup Boys at the bigger super speedway layout. So we're gonna see what kind of times and racing we're gonna see on the shorter track here, old Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, a track that's actually currently not under use, and hopefully we can put some light to that here tonight.
Absolutely. This is race 1 of a lovely Monday night doubleheader we have for you on the Vortex Racing Network. I've watched some of the NASCAR Classics videos from this particular track, and in its current state, hopeful to maybe get a cup date here, but right now in the virtual world, we'll enjoy it on the sim tonight. Taking a look over here. It's been quite a blend of tracks thus far this season. You know, Joe, we broadcasted the season opener at Rockingham. We saw Eric Gambrill win the season opener there, and since then they've kind of mirrored their schedule alongside the Monday Mayhem Cup Series over in the Moonlight Racing League, and it's been a lovely pairing, a nice doubleheader. A lot of drivers do the double dip, so we'll be looking forward to see some short track racing here, and then we'll take it on the technically cookie cutter layout, but still a shorter layout of the Speedway of Nashville. Looking forward, we're about halfway through that regular season. Joe, what jumps out to you here looking at this schedule?
Yeah, well, I know the road street course next week is going to be Road America, so very excited to see how that's going to play out. Coming off of a dominating performance last week by Patrick Cowgill, we'll see if he's able to get it done here again. As I see qualifying wrapping up, just to take a quick peek at the points before we
Absolutely.
do the race here, just to blurt it out real quick. Zach Panzarella and Brandon Lawless 1-2, and you see Sanchez, Mark Zabak, Chris Cowgill rounding out that top 5. Those guys have all started all 4 races. So a lot of stuff going on here in the points, but let's get straight to it here because we got qualifying
Yep.
results.
Absolutely. Current points leader, your defending champion, Zach Panzarella there, asserting his dominance there. I know we were able to do some of those interviews during week 1, had a great chat with Danny Sanchez there. So we'll see if him and Lawless and the boys can pick things up, see if we have a new winner tonight. But after qualifying, Patrick Cowgill is your pole sitter. So very exciting to see Cowgill there, the DDI driver himself, in the pole. And check that out. Outside row 1 and P2, we have Tommy Fox. Tommy Fox, always a solid qualifying effort wherever we see him run. JD McGee will be inside row 2. John Ott will be outside. Zach Panzarella in 5th right there. Harold Ralph will start outside of him. And then Lucian Thompson, he's going to be right there in 7th with Matt Webb beside him. And then Brandon Lawless and Brandon Ibarra. The battle of the Brandons will be in row 5.
Yep, so then looking back throughout the rest of the field, Chris Cowgill going to start on row 6 with Lucas Alves. Behind them, you see Greg Ulmer and Jerry Rose, the last one to put down the lap time. And then you got your no qualifiers here tonight. Edward Peltz, Danny Sanchez, Stephen Neal making an appearance here. Nice to see him. And Joshua Nunez going to round out the field here for tonight's race.
Yeah, so a wonderful, just around the 20 driver mark there. Perfect for a short track excursion. Again, the double header. We're going to go from the old and then to the current. And we hope to have sponsor provider Hunter Hall post race to discuss the actual issue at heart and the reason for the sponsorship. But we're proud to bring you the coverage tonight as we get a little bit of nostalgia with a twist on the modern cup car. That is the modified Gen 6 Arca car, as we call it nowadays.
Yep, definitely excited to see what we have in store here tonight. Also great to see that there's none of those naysayers complaining about loud sounds that are going to be able to get in our way here for some good racing at Nashville Fairgrounds. So over here, looking at that air temp 66 degrees, overcast. It's a little bit humid, so I'm excited to see what that does for the tire wear. We know how tight this car can be. Right front usually really gets going pretty wacky, so we want to avoid that here tonight, and we'll see what we can do to help that out.
Yeah, I do believe that may affect the track temps there. Those general tires are pretty durable, but you still don't want to heat them up. It'll be an unfavorable circumstance for you. But as you can see, it's pretty much a straightforward oval here with the higher banking in the corners. It'll be pretty exciting to see how these guys battle side by side. Pretty flat straightaways here as well. As you can see, the trees in the distance and roller coasters in downtown Nashville behind it. It's quite a place for a racetrack, and it's one of those curious circumstances, Joe. It's like you see how society has evolved, but it's nice to see this gem of asphalt still intact.
Yep, really great to see. We've done some great short track races here in other series. We'll see what the Arca car puts on store. There goes the pace car down pit road.
Pace car off, then we're about to go green. Restart zone, Cowgill hits it, and we're racing, boys. It looks like a clean start by the field as you see Patrick Cowgill able to clear the field. Tommy Fox with a fair restart on the outside, going to be able to get that run, maintain second. You see McGee right there in third in the 907. John Ott right behind them, battle for fourth.
JD McGee, of course, in the Three Musketeers Chrome car, doing a good job here, clearing Zach Panzarella and company behind. Oh, I see some stuff going on maybe further back.
There's an incident here. It looks like that may very well bring out the first caution of the night. Gerald Rose involved in that 51. Mean Gene Money himself. We'll have to take a look and see exactly what happened there. But chaos ensues, and we have an incident on the track as a result.
See, is there a caution? I don't know.
Wow, are we still going green here, folks? Oh my goodness, I think we're still going green. And you see,
I don't see the field slowing down any, really, and
nope.
No pace car out there right now. So right now, looks like we're still going to stay green for the time being. Not expected here. So we're going to stay on live action here, maybe until we get a caution. We'll go back and take a look at what happened there. Don't want to really break away from this current action here, because you got guys still racing really hard for positions. Further back in the field here, very nose-to-tail racing right here around Matt Webb. You can see him in the middle of this 98 Taco Bell Ford right now in the middle of this train. Brandon Lolis, Brandon White-Barra right behind him. I see Ulmer, Cowgill, Lucas Alves also in this train right now. All these guys very close to each other.
Less than optimal here, the 51 with damage. You saw two other cars involved. As we continue bringing the action live, we're still green here. Very curious that even iRacing itself didn't throw the yellow on that one, Joe. So the 51 a lap down.
Oh, there's a car around.
There's another car around that. It will bring out the caution as the 98 goes for a ride. He's inside the pit road right now, but the 98 with an issue. Webb in the pits, caution number 1.
Well, that car's broken. That's going to be, hopefully, I believe there's a fast repair to these boys' disposal, and we're about to find out right now. Look at that right front.
Wheel.
Oh,
that camber
no.
That camber's a little bit off.
It's fixed. Don't worry.
Magic. Movie magic on the sim. That fast repair does come out to be a very handy tool, as everybody in the field has to stop to wait for the pace car to go around. So as we're able to juggle through it, we'll have to see and take a look what happened there, Joe.
A couple things to go back and look at. First, we got the wreck early on here, right? So we got Jerry Rose and everybody else. What happened here to start this one?
Looks like everything is so far so good. Smooth sailing there. Up. Okay, you see the run building. Potential 3 wide situation developing as we enter the corner.
Oh, 41 cooked it.
41 dove it in there a little too shallow, a little too hot. Washes up into Danny Sanchez in the 62. Mean Gene also in the 51. Rose collected there as well. And then you see him coming down the track, and the 41 just drives right through him. Maybe the T-bone move of the race, I don't know, but that definitely was a little bump and grind action there.
Yeah, you can see the 7 car back there as well gets involved, trying to slow down for it. Edward Peltz gets involved with Danny Sanchez. Looks like somebody else behind them stopped as well. That's the 45 of Stephen Neal. So that's what started the first wreck. The second wreck, though, that was...
I like that smiley face emoji. He's got his mouth open on the hood there. Very tongue-in-cheek kind of paint scheme. I like that out of the 45.
Here's a caution. like an accordion effect. Oh yeah.
Yep, 98. Just a little too hot and gets into the back there. And then round and round he goes. Is he going to make it? Is he going to save it?
Oh.
Bop. Oh, those hits hurt. And that's what really caused the damage from that incident, having to utilize that fast repair a little bit early in the show. So hopefully we can take care of that car and regroup. Webb there, the unfortunate victim, brings out the first caution of the night on the Monday Night Arca series.
About to go green. Only the guys that were involved in the first wreck pitted. Here we go.
All right, back to action. We restart, and Patrick Cowgill with a great restart again. Tommy Fox jumps on the outside. You see McGee taking a look inside in that 907. Tommy Fox going to be able to clear for P2. The battle. Look at Panzarella coming around, almost sketches the wall. He had quite the run there, trying to make haste through this field. Zach Panzarella is coming.
Yeah, right now trying to make moves happen. But right now, look at all this chaos going on back here.
Oh my, it's a gaggle right there. This is where the action really is fun, that mid to the rear pack where these guys are pouncing all over each other for that precious wheel estate. They're side by side. You see them hitting the wall a little bit there. Got to go easy, boys. I'm going to take care of that car.
Yeah, Stephen Neal got a little bit high there. Right now you can see the 41 of Nunez. They see the 03 of Chris Cowgill, Sandy Sanchez, all here just outside the top 10 having a real battle. Eddie Peltz now sneaking into the mix. Jerry Rose looks like he's just going to chill out in the back of the field. And this is allowing Patrick Cowgill, though, back up front. He's starting to sneak away slowly over Tommy Fox and company.
For Cowgill with the 7-car advantage over Tommy Fox, but you saw it. Looks like it's going to be difficult to make passes here, Joe. And you see the straights are kind of narrow. You do have the banking in the turns, but it looks like you're really going to have to be methodical about how you set up the pass here at Nashville.
Yeah, pretty much going to be very methodical. You can see these guys have sorted it out back here. Nunez gets 12, Sanchez 13, and 14 for the 03 of Chris Cowgill. And now looks like Nunez makes a mistake, slips high, and this may allow Sanchez to go by for 12.
Sanchez looking inside. He's going to wash up a little bit. He's got to check up a little bit side by side on exit. It's a drag race down the stretch into the turn there. Looks like Sanchez is going to be able to clear and slide up. Yep, looks like he's going to be able to slide up and nab that. Ooh, round and round we go. We're under caution again. Oh, my goodness. Wow, did you see that develop just like I did? That was incredible. The 901 with an issue there loses control. We'll have to see how that one transpired, but we're under caution for the second time tonight from Nashville.
Yeah, that was John Ott that went around there. We'll have to pull up this wreck and see what happened to start this one.
Absolutely. He's got that kind of that advanced auto parts scheme going on there. Car looking really sharp, and we'll take a look here. Everything's looking so far so good. Did he goose it a little bit on exit and wrap himself around? Let's see.
See some different lines from guys above. Maybe a little wheel hop right there.
Yeah, hit the bump a little bit, and then I think we're probably into the throttle a little too early on exit, and he just brings the back around. Able to lock it down there.
Oh, Lawless got him.
Brandon Lawless gives him the proverbial icing on the cake right there with some sprinkles, makes him do the little spin. I don't know if he'll be able to repair that damage or go with the fast repair on that, but definitely you can see the contact on the left rear of that car. It's definitely unaligned, and that bumper's hanging a little bit.
Yeah, for certain. As we come back to live, we see the 901, I'm going to assume, is going to pit. No, he's not. He's just going to ride around with that damage. Somebody that did pit, though, is Jerry Rose, who just barely beats out the pace car right there. Maybe still trying to get this car fixed as a result, not using the fast repair on his account.
I think if you can avoid using the fast repair and you maybe tinker on the damage, seeing that we have a couple early cautions, maybe if the damage is minimal and cosmetic, you can get away with it. Very curious to see that Ott decided not to pit there after going for that slide there, flat spot in the tires. We'll see how that affects the performance of the car moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see what really happens with these boys going forward. Right now, it looks like an extreme advantage to the leader here on every restart we've seen. Patrick Cowgill doing everything he can to just get away from the field, and having the bottom lane is where you want to be.
Yeah, you know, you get that jump on the start, you get that advantage, and you kind of just go and dive it into turn one, get that advantage, roll out of two, and you get that clean air and you get away from the fracas behind you. We'll see if Tommy Fox can get a better restart this time. He's 0 for 2 there, matching the 31's reaction time. I know Tommy's been a veteran at doing this, so we'll see if the 57 can respond as the pace car's off into the restart zone. Cowgill is gone again. Patrick Cowgill getting great restarts under green again from Nashville.
Yeah, here we go. He gets away really good. Tommy Fox, not a good jump that time. JD McGee's going to be able to sneak through for second place. And now you can see some guys under attack further back. Zach Panzarella under attack.
Yeah, the 0-1 of Thompson there taking a peek. Battle for fifth brewing right there. As you see, Panzarella gets the advantage, going to be able to get down to the bottom. You want to work the bottom here. It's the preferred line so far. It gets a great jump on exit. They're starting to file out a little bit there, as you see. A little bit of pass right there. The 0-4 Barra gets a good jump on Ralph there.
Yeah, now you see Lucas Alves trying to work the outside. Not really been a conventional place to be running, but it might get him inside the top 10 and up to 9th here in a second if he's able to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where you might want to be able to use it for a lap or two to get a pass completed, but I think it's going to be like a cheese grater for the tires. What are your thoughts?
I really don't think running the high line is a good idea at all, just because the tire wear, and I don't think it's the fastest way around this track at all with this car.
No, it looks like these guys really have it dialed it in, running single file. They're using that bottom line, the preferred line right now. It's one of those situations as we take a look there at the Stephen Neal machine. That thing just makes me want to laugh every time I see the hood. Oh, same spot. Again, the 41 now with an issue there. The 41 brings out caution number 3 and almost collects a latecomer. Wow, Brandon Nunez right there. With a little bit of issue. The micro center got a little bit of damage to the nose there. Well, we just saw it a few laps prior with John Ott going around for a ride. I think the same thing happened right there. Exit at turn 2 is a little treacherous early from the Fairgrounds.
Yeah, it's not been a good time here. 41 car now on pit road right there. Looks like JD McGee just went through the pits as well. Not sure what's going on there. Seeing some weird stuff pop up on my timeline. We'll go back and take a look here at what happened to the 41.
Yeah, very curious. Looks like a potential...
it'd be nice if it registered the right thing, huh?
It looked like a beautiful pit entry right there. Give him credit for that. So you see him, he takes the same line everybody's going. He hits that bump just like Ott did a few laps prior to bring out the last caution. It's a little treacherous down there. You saw that bump in that wheel hop, and it upsets the balance of the car. So when you get back in the throttle on exit, it just sends you around.
Yeah, that was a big hit with the wall here as well. 25 laps in. 100 to go. I don't really foresee any sort of pit stops from the leaders yet. Everybody just still trying to fix damage. I see Nunez down there on pits. Jerry Rose now leading the pits. Yep. John Ott looks like he's coming down to fix up some of that rear end damage.
Yeah, that was a close one.
To it, but yeah.
So, you know, these guys are trying to get every millisecond out of the pit cycle over here. You got to be careful. It's a tight pit road entry. The 901 there, he was the first one to hit those bumps down there. It looks like when you're making negotiating that set of corners, Joe, you really don't want to keep the tires down on the yellow line because it looks like there's some real serious bumps down there.
Yeah, got to be careful coming out of 2 for certain. Not used to really this car really getting that way with wheel spin and everything out of 2 or at short tracks in general, but we're seeing it here tonight.
Yeah, pretty incredible action early. Still have the meat and potatoes left to go in the race, but 4 cautions early. The third one here in 25 laps now, 26 laps. It's kind of setting a little bit of a trend. We'd like to see the green flag run here to see how the strategy is going to play out with the fuel and the tires. But unfortunately, a few incidents there. The track reaching out and grabbing a few of the boys tonight.
Yeah, for certain. We'll see how much it continues here. JD McGee going to start on the outside this time with Tommy
Let's see
Fox
how he times it. Pace car's off, back to green, and Cowgill is just a restart machine. Look at that jump, Joe. He's out there with a vengeance, going to clear everybody with ease. It looks like McGee and Fox battling for second. Zach Panzarella trying to wrap the top and almost scrapes the wall there. Going to get every square inch of the racing surface to his benefit. Panzarella trying to work that outside to get side by side with Tommy Fox. The 12 is coming.
And trying to make this move again. I think he might be able to get it done this time.
Just gassing it down, throttling down, committing to just keeping those tires up to get the pass done. Settles back down, runs the bottom now. We'll see if he can reel in McGee. As you see, Cowgill is gone.
Yeah, these guys battling hard right behind them, though. See Thompson and Lola side by side here for 5th place, right behind Tommy Fox, who I think is just trying to settle in right now. Some guys getting the wall a little bit back there, too.
Yeah, I saw a little tail happy and then a little contact with that yellow Chevy there, scraping the wall a little bit. As you see, Thompson's trying to come. He's right there, trying to wrap around the outside, trying to make that high line work. The 01 has got a good line going there, right behind the 57 of Fox. Going to try to set up something here. Definitely has a lot of pace in that Pepsi machine.
Yeah, a lot of pace right now going on from these boys. Especially that 01. Looks like somebody else that's really coming through is Wybera up to 8th now. But the guy right in front of him is really making some moves, and that is Lucas Alves. He's gone from 12th to 7th here to this point. If you haven't noticed there, see. And man, what a move it's been through the field for him.
Yeah, the 115 of LA, Lucas Alves, the red, white, and blue, he's coming through for you. A Moonlight Racing League regular, finding his niche here in the Monday Night DDI Arca series. Lucas Alves having a great run early, up 5 positions from the start. And he's another one, Joe. He just kind of focuses on hitting his marks, going for that long run, not beating up the equipment early. He takes really good care of the car. So we'll see the 115 as we progress here. Looking good early.
Yeah, he is. Another guy looking good early. After being involved in those early incidents is Danny Sanchez, moved from 16th to 9th here in the race today. So he's right now moving his way forward. As he gets really loose there, almost spins it like some other guys' attitude. Don't want to jinx him here, but he's been moving his way forward here recently too.
Really close to the rear end of Ibarra there. I don't know if that upset the air on the car, if that was a little evasive maneuver as to not turn the 04, but Danny Sanchez, he does it again. He's really trying to get every bit of power out of that car, maybe driving it a little too hard right now, but he's trying to make up that ground after you saw it getting caught up in that early incident. There's Stephen Neal in that 45. I just love the car, love the color. It almost reminds me of Eric Gambrill's Pals machine. We're missing Eric Gambrill tonight, so I was a little confused early when I saw that scheme.
Yeah, right now just trying to find some moves happening on the track.
Sanchez making them moves.
There's one of them. Right now it looks like that's about it going on for moves on the track. Everybody else pretty much settling in. Patrick Cowgill once again setting the pace. We'll pull up those lap times, see how he's doing compared to McGee behind. You can see every lap been faster here recently than JD McGee. We'll see what this lap is. Yep, just that little bit faster again.
Yeah, Patrick Cowgill just looking forward to getting settled in here. Just hit your marks, get into that rhythm, let the run develop, take care of the car, manage your gap. He definitely has an advantage right now, but I wouldn't sleep on McGee. Maybe he's taking care of his equipment, just comfortably sitting in second. We're only 42 laps in, so you know, we definitely have to make some pit stops here, get some fresh rubber at some point, just keep him within shouting distance, but also keep tabs on Panzarella, only a second and a half behind the leader. We know Zach knows how to get around on track. The 12 machine is the defending champion, but Cowgill always has lots of speed wherever we go in this series and other series that we've seen him compete in.
Yeah, right now, Zach doing a good job trying to close back in. If we take a look at his lap times compared to the leader of Cowgill right now, he's running pretty much similar lap times as well, so not really gaining anything, not losing anything. So things pretty much settling in. I do see that it looks like Lucas Alves just gave up 7th place there, got passed by Sanchez, and now under attack from my bear behind.
Yeah, I believe those boys are coming. The 115 may want to think about adjusting his line and moving down a lane to the bottom there. Perhaps got those tires a little warm, but we see Sanchez. He's got that car out of shape on exit every set of corners. He's trying to get the max out of that car. And the 04 Vibara, we know that he's the top competitor, and he will not be denied, having shown great patience here as we see this run start to get settled in, as I think we're done with the yellows for a little while. Whoa! Look at Danny Sanchez, Joe. I almost gave him the broadcaster code, the curse, the jinx.
Yeah, I think it pretty much can happen to anyone, it feels like, at this point. Somebody getting loose out of turn 2 is very, very highly likely. And right now, it's pretty much... Yeah, you can see that. I think he might have something still damaged on that thing, and that's why it's doing it.
Yeah, it's an ill-handling race car. The way that car exits turn 2, it reminds me more akin to how exit of turn 2 can be at Richmond when you go across those different seams, the way the car is behaving there. Pretty wild ride for that 62 right now. I think he's catching his collective breath, lets the 04 go by for the moment.
Yeah, right now, everybody looks like they're just settling into where they are. Looks like there might be some battling going a little further back. I saw Harold Ralph right there. Looks like got up underneath Eddie Peltz for 14th spot. Able to complete that pass right now. Looking at the running order right now, only one car being shown a lap down. That's right now Joshua Nunez. He's currently a lap down in 18th, so he'd love to see a caution here.
Currently in that lucky dog position, as you see him right on the heels of the 51. The 51 still might have a little bit of damage there as well, but Jerry Rose having a nice calm run right now after that initial incident that he got caught up in somebody else's mess. Haven't we heard that one before? But the 51 definitely getting settled in right there on the lead lap, logging laps, just running his own race, keeping a good pace, and looks like he's just got great car control at the moment. So just keep it up, 51, looking good.
Yeah, doing a great job right now. Don't pay any attention to what I just sent you. That's for myself. So
you know what? They're all up in our DMs during the race, so that's just how it goes around here on the Vortex Racing Network. Somebody was foolish enough to hand us the keys to the kingdom tonight, and here we go, baby. We're racing. We're live. We're at Nashville Fairgrounds.
Yep. Right now we're working on getting a nice little thing to put up here for this.
You want to know what else is a nice little thing? As I can't get my words out tonight. What do you think? Are we a little premature for Crank It Up, perhaps?
Yeah, we can do that.
You know what? It's something that we love to do on the Friday night Arca series over on the MRL Broadcasting Channel. We like to bring a little bit of that flavor here on Monday nights to the DDI boys. So let's go ahead and crank it up. Yeah. Hey, we are back. We saw a car go spinning there, but we are still green. It looked like the 901 machine of John Ott with another problem there. We'd love to bring you the sights and sounds of the racing experience. However, peril on the track brings us back to bring you the coverage here on Vortex Racing Network. Looks like he's going to drive right on through. That was a harrowing situation. Could have brought out a caution there. Interesting camera views. I saw that car go sideways. Wow, what an experience there, Joe. The 901. Oh, my goodness. Almost the big one from the Fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's going to be an unsafe pit exit, so I think he's going to have to go back down pit road now. He's already 2 laps down. That's not going to give him another black flag. We'll see if that one gets cleared or not. I don't think he meant to go down pit road the first time, so they may forego any sort of additional penalties here.
We'll have to keep you posted, but definitely got out of shape and had to use the pit road to avoid harming himself or others. What a wild ride that was, as we are just past halfway here at Nashville Fairgrounds. I'm your host, Nate. I got Smokin' Joe with me. And check it out. This is race 1 of a Monday night doubleheader. We're the Arca Series now. Tune in and stay here with Vortex Racing Network for the Monday Night Mayhem Cup Series on Vortex Racing Network. You got Mean Gene in the booth with Zach Panzarella. It's the old and the new. We got the Fairgrounds here for race 1, Nashville Super Speedway in the Next Gen Cup car to follow. It's an incredible night of racing, and we're glad to bring it to you here on the leader.
That's right, and we got pit stops going on. I see Wybara on pit road. Wybara going to make his pit stop right there, looking at his pit time. 5 seconds, so that's a fuel stop and out. So that's a splash and dash.
It makes me wonder. I guess the tires are holding up well for him to deem just a fuel-only experience here. I think he's going to try to go for that classic undercut. We'll see if the leaders are compelled to follow and be able to make it to the end here, Joe. But it might be just a little bit premature. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, looking at the lap times have fallen off about half a second, so if they don't fall off anymore, this might work in his favor. A 5-second pit stop is almost, what, 8-9 seconds faster than a 4-tire stop. But if I was a betting man, I would say taking 2 and being in there for 8 seconds is going to be the way to go.
Absolutely. Get that extra set of rubber on the right sides, get that little bit of help to be able to battle. But Patrick Calgill, no signs of slowing down here as your race leader. And we see Zach Panzarella has migrated into second. He's starting to narrow that gap by a couple tenths. It was a 1.5 seconds at the max. It's hovering right around 1 second now. So he's tightening the grip a little bit, trying to chase down our race leader. But Patrick Calgill has been the class of the field, has led wire to wire up to this point. Only 3 cautions for 11 laps, so we got that out of the way early. But during our Crank It Up segment, we almost thought we were going to have caution number 4. It's been a wild ride at the Fairgrounds. She's treating us to a good one tonight.
That's right, and right now these guys not really thinking about pitting, I don't think, anytime soon. But Greg Ulmer is. He just came down pit road. We'll
59.
see what he does.
Yeah, that 59. I love that that nice blend paint job he's got going on. Gonna go with some tires right there. We see the rights go up. Will 4 set of 4 general tires and have a nice day. He's out at 59.
10 seconds slower pit stop than Wybara right there. Here comes one of his teammates, Brandon Lawless. One of those other backpack drivers going to come down this time. We'll see if he's on the fuel-only strategy with old Brandon in the 04.
Absolutely, the 83 coming in with that SVG-inspired scheme, looking really good there. 4-star indeed. We see the rights go up. This is going to be 2 or 4. 2 tires only. 2 tires only. That might be the call here, Joe. We'll have to see. We have somebody on fuel only. We see a set of 4 and now a set of 2 taken. So let's go see and try to find out the bigger sample size.
And that was a 3 second slower pit stop than Wybara there. So that right there makes me think. And it looks like Lawless came out in front of him as well. Here come the leaders.
Here we go. You saw the 12 reeling in that 31. I think the 31 said, let's get it. Panzarella trying to get the most out of catching up on the pit entry. Tommy Fox as well in the 57 is going to go in with the leaders. Let's check out what they do, Joe. It's going to be very interesting to see.
Oh!
Oh!
I don't know what's going on there.
He let him know. I don't know about what, but he sure let him know. Oh, no!
Oh, they're good, they're good. Everybody's okay.
Gonna slide it a little bit there. Got me a little excited.
Let's see.
Fox with right side. Fox with a set of 4.
I don't know what's going on with the 31. The 31's been there for a long time.
31, wow, it felt like an eternity. I will have to go and find out what happened, but the 31 with some kind of issue right there heads in first and lays out third on that pit sequence. The 01 now, the 01 of Thompson coming in, Lucian coming in right now. As you see Lucas Alves leaving pit road. Let's go see what the 01 does. Fish speed.
Right now it looks like Lawless will be the effective race leader based on these pit stops. It looks like the 01 is going to take 4 tires. So right now the current leader of the race, Danny Sanchez, he last pitted on lap 17. Looks like he took right sides and fuel at that point. Right now he's running lap times that are about half a second slower than the guys on freshies. So definitely going to be giving up some time to the rest of the field here. We'll see what he does. Matt Webb, he pitted on lap 6. So he's going to have to pit here very soon. And then you got the guys that pitted on 26. Oh, we got a wreck!
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh wow, the 12. Zach Panzarella without a nose. The big one at the Fairgrounds during the pit cycle. This is going to put this race and flip it on its ear. Jerry Rose, they're still wrecking. Oh my gosh. Wow, the carnage ensues. It's short track racing, baby. Oh my goodness. We're going to have to really unpack this one.
And as Mean Gene says, I mean, this is going to be a free shout out for our sponsor on Sunday, but let the demolition derby begin right there. Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened.
That seemed to be roughly 1/3 of the field involved there. The 12 notably with the most damage from what we could see live on camera. Zach Panzarella looked like he was going to champion a great pit sequence there. I was very curious to see how that was going to play out once they all cycled through. Now it looks like we're going to have to fix some damage and re-rack this thing.
Let's go.
Let's take a look and see exactly what happened here. This is chaos.
Oh, Zach. Zach got the wall and came down into the 51, 04, and then they all pile up down here in turn 1.
Oh my goodness, the 907 smacked it hard. You know, tell me what was going. Oh my goodness, imagine if the pace car didn't go through cars. That would have been exciting. So, you know, we looked at the, wow.
Okay, well, yeah, we got some extra wrecks going on there.
Wrecking with wrecking included. That was quite the full complement. So look at the 12 car here. Did he maybe overdrive it a little bit, or maybe was it a moment
way out of the groove?
being unsure of how to approach that 41 machine?
Way out of the groove. Can't be that high and just
in the marbles. In the marbles, washed out.
Control.
Can't correct it. The wall is not your friend. The 51 is your broadcast partner, but not your friend. And the 04 is along for the ride. It's a 3-for-1 special right there.
Big hits right here. Boom.
Oh.
Boom.
Boom.
Netcode boom.
That's the 2-piece combo right there. The 3-piece combo with the 04 there. Oh, how unlucky can you get? And then look at Edward Peltz at 907. Wow. So maybe Peltz there, maybe not so much damage, just slid the tires there, but what a wreck. The carnage ensued.
All right, I got to get you untangled here because there's a lot of stuff that's just happened for this race. So with the way that the pitting happened and everything, Danny Sanchez is going to take the lead, last pitted on this caution for 4 tires. Harold Ralph going to start alongside him, also on 4 tires. Matt Webb going to start third on 4 tires. Lawless looks like he took rights or lefts based on his pit time. Tommy Fox on the lead lap. It looks like he was most likely the lucky dog. Lucian Thompson most likely got the wave around here. Everybody else is now trapped a lap down or more.
Look at that. Look at that tower right there. It's purgatory for many of these drivers who are putting together quite the run. We're going to have to see how they can shake this out. Pace car's off. We're back green. Danny Sanchez gets the great jump. The tide ride in the 15 on the outside, battling Webb for second. Looks like the 15 is going to be able to clear him. Danny Sanchez, your new race leader. Harold Ralph in second.
Yeah, right now, this has really become the show of Danny Sanchez. He had a really fast car coming through the field, and it's now flipped into his favor. Harold Ralph also now got a good run going. Matt Webb, we saw him backwards early in this race. He's flipped it into his favor. And then, of course, we see Lawless a little further back in fourth now. And then you see Thompson and Fox, they're way at the back of the field in 56.
Pretty crazy how you have these lap down cars with the lead lap cars here on this restart trying to shuffle through and juggle. A lot of these cars a lap down have lead lap pace. It's extremely crazy as you see Patrick Cowgill down 2 laps, who had the dominant car. Definitely the loser on this exchange.
Yeah, right now looking at this, so this battle you're looking at here where they're about to go 3 wide, this is the battle for the lucky dog spot for 7 right now. McGee, Wybera, and Panzarella, all the first 3 cars 1 lap down at this point in time. So we'll see. They got to get around this 98. The 04 going to do it by going around the outside. And I see the 41 in the wall a little further back. He's trying to keep it together. Right now, this would be a big advantage for the 04. I mean, I'm shocked to see Zach running that really high line again in 3 and 4 after it just caused that massive wreck a few laps ago.
I know it. He's not shy.
I guess
he's not shy.
I guess he thinks there's something up there. I guess. Well, there's a
yeah,
wall
the
up there.
The wall's up there. I thought they already were well acquainted. I know it's the second most important battle on the track to be the lucky dog. As you see, Danny Sanchez and Harold Ralph have control of the race. There it is.
They're
There it
wrecking
is.
live. T-bone.
Boom goes
Oh,
the
they're
dynamite.
all wrecking Daryl.
Oh my God!
Geez,
Look at
save
that
me.
stack up. What a stack up high right there. That they pulled the pin. The grenade was thrown, and boom goes the dynamite. Oh my goodness! Yeah, look at that. Lucas Alves with the hood flapping in the breeze. That's going to be a bit of damage. Wow! Caution out for the 5th time tonight from the Nashville Fairgrounds. Oh my goodness!
Well,
just when you thought it was safe.
they did it again, and the big winner of this one is going to be Brandon Wybera, who's going to get the lucky dog, or at least he should here, I would assume. I'm waiting to see.
As long as he did not get any registered incident or a 0x or anything like that from iRacing, he's going to be your lucky dog. So the 04, the big winner, and we saw he's got pretty good pace tonight, so this is going to play into his favor as you see some lead lap cars. Tommy Fox, Brandon Lawless going to take advantage on pit road as well. But I thought the 12 learned his lesson with running up high by the wall, Joe. Apparently I was mistaken, as he's done it again.
Yeah, the 907 got loose, so it didn't even matter what happened with them. And then look at all these other boys compiling, and we'll go look from Lucas Alves' perspective here.
Absolutely. Yeah, just the more angles, the better.
There we go. That's who we want.
115 sees it develop, sees it coming.
Oh.
And he was trying to lock it down there, but with that low brake bias, took the back around on it and put him right into it.
A lot of hard hits right there.
So a lot of these guys may have to consider their fast repair on that one, and it brings a curious question there. You know, cautions breed cautions, Joe, and we are a little bit past halfway, so these guys are going to be more and more desperate on these restarts.
Yeah, we're under 30 to go now. We'll see. Is this 1 to green right here? Survey says yes. So
survey says
have 28 to go when we go back racing.
Absolutely. You see Danny Sanchez stays on the bottom, wants the preferred line there. The bottom is where that magic happens. You see limited success with that high line, but a lot of trouble from that high line, as you saw the caution before this one with Panzarella, and then you saw Panzarella scrape the wall, but the 907 with a loose condition brings that out. Pace car is off. We're going to run him back again. Webb on the outside, Sanchez on the inside. We're back green. Danny Sanchez gets a great jump. Brandon Barr tries to get a great jump as well. Oh my goodness, it's side by side for second here as you see Danny getting away. The battle for second is heating up. It's a drag race down the backstretch. The tide ride of Harold Ralph behind them. Tommy Fox looking racy on the outside in the 57.
I don't know what the rules are about switching lanes, but the 62 may or may not have switched lanes before the start-finish line right there. So we'll see what happens with that. Didn't have a good look of it right there from the camera angle or not. I'm not an official, so I don't know what the rules are on that. So we'll see if anything comes of it.
If we have another caution, maybe we can take a quick peek at that restart, but we're just going to keep going green and let him ride. As you see Lucian Thompson in the 0-1 there battling and looking inside the 98. They're going to try to get second place. Danny Sanchez got himself a nice half-second advantage. As we see this restart firing back up, we're going to be 25 to go at the line. It's going to be money time here. Laps are clicking down.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Neal's in the pits. That might be the end of his day. That's what I'm looking at right here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it back out there or not. He's fallen way down the running order, though, at this point. As Danny Sanchez, of course, still getting away here. And then the second battle is that battle for the lucky dog, which right now Nunez has complete control over. Right now, you can see the next car that he's battling, Eddie Peltz, multiple cars back. So Nunez under no threat as long as he's not in a wreck.
Just got to keep it clean and hope for another yellow to try to get some of these cars back on the lead laps. Currently 7 on the lead lap. Danny Sanchez, your current leader with 23 to go from Nashville Fairgrounds. The 98 of Webb got a sharp purple machine trying to make some time. Lucian Thompson getting a little impatient there. You see the nose dented on that Pepsi machine. And Harold Ralph with the Tide Get Your Laundry Clean ride. The 15 there taking a peek as well, but he's under attack from a lap down car. Well, Lawless is on the lead lap, so under attack. Stephen Neal back on the track, so I get to see that emoji some more, Joe. I'm excited for that.
A lot of chaos going on here. The front 5, though, are all on the lead lap, see, so that should be pretty easy for you to track right now.
These guys are under a blanket. Look at that. You know, the battle for second is the hottest ticket on the track right there. Sanchez with a nearly half a straightaway advantage, but the battle for second is all on and popping.
Yeah, right now, that caution a little bit earlier, that big wreck, really has flipped this race upside down. And right now, Danny Sanchez has been showing the best pace out of the guys that got back to the lead lap. That 98 car seems to be struggling, and these guys need to find a way around him if they want a chance at Danny.
That 01 is just using all of it up to try to get around him, but check it out. The 98 trying to move up a little bit, but Lawless is looking inside, maybe try to get him a little loose there, get the leverage for the position. That 98 will not relent. And third place of Harold Ralph there keeps Lucian Thompson at bay. But look at that, he's going to try again. The 83 of Lawless trying again, taking a peek inside. Moves him up the track a little bit. Oh, he moves him up the track a little bit, gains the advantage. Loose on exit. He's got the advantage, going to be able to clear him in 3.
You had to get that done right now. Coming to 17 to go. These laps are going to click off very quickly. Remember, sub 20-second lap times around here. So 3 laps a minute. We got just under 6 minutes left in this race. So if this thing goes green, it's pretty much going to be over before you know it. And needed to make that move right then and there. So we'll go back up to Danny Sanchez, and we're going to put on our old lap time thing now and see. Lawless looks like slower the last 2 laps.
Yeah, he's been slower the last 2 laps. He's got almost just under 16 to go. Going to be 15 when they come to the line here. He's going to have to mount the charge. Yeah, I know he's gaining the advantage. Yeah.
Lawless,
green is good. He's managing he's getting a 10th a lap, and he has enough time to get to the bumper. Will he have enough time to challenge for the race win? That's barring Danny Sanchez doing something unimaginable. But right now in control, the 62, making a great recovery there. We saw him drive through the field early, Joe, and had a little bit of tail wagging early with that car, but since we've had those latest rash of cautions, the 62 has become the class of the field.
Yeah, but he's consistently slower right now than Lawless. So I think we're going to have a battle on our hands probably in about six to 10 laps. That last time he was way faster, though. So we'll see if that kind of pace continues. We'll go back to this battle in a little bit here because right now it's heating up around that third and fourth place. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all under a blanket with Patrick Cowgill, the dominator of the race, 2 laps down and 15th in the middle of this as well.
Trying to get at least one of those 2 laps back, but he's going to try to do the impossible with not enough time remaining. That battle for second was where it was at. We saw Lawless clear Webb, and now Webb has a little bit of a buffer with Cowgill. You see Harold Ralph and Lucian Thompson and Tommy Fox not able to keep up the pace. So the 98 using that 31 as a pick right now, trying to help his cause there. Yeah, incredible there. Tommy Fox, ooh, little hot entry there, trying to look inside.
Yeah, wants to get back in the top 5 right here. 10 to go right now. We'll go back to that battle for the lead if Lawless gets it within half a second. It's getting pretty close to it, but right now...
He's coming.
Oh, 15 got loose.
Yeah, that tide needs a little bit of Downey to get that laundry really freshy, but Harold Ralph, all
he's losing
sorts
it.
of loosey-goosey. Woo! They're still racing? Fuck yeah.
Green flag.
Oh, yay. Look at Danny Sanchez right there with Brandon Lawless on the backstretch. Technical difficulties have foiled us once again, but we will not be denied from Nashville Fairgrounds. Look at this battle side by side. Oh, my goodness. Sanchez with the advantage. White flag. Sanchez under pressure. Attack from Lawless. Look at that. The 83's taking a look. The 62 is going to guard and defend the bottom. The 83 takes the high line, but the 62 is coming around. They're coming to the line.
Good job, 62.
Danny Sanchez.
Good win, Danny.
Hell yeah, Danny.
I'm back. Good win, Danny.
Look at that. Yeah, we're back to you here. We've had some technical difficulties. The power did not want to cooperate, but we're back just in time to see Danny Sanchez put it down and take the dub from Nashville Fairgrounds. Look at him do those donuts. We saw there on that restart when we came back, Brandon Lawless tried to give it all he could, but the 62 prevails tonight from Nashville.
That was absolutely wacky. Too bad we couldn't really see much of the end there. But what we can see is we can go back and we can watch the whole last restart.
I would love to take another look at that. When we left you, we saw the caution flag come out as we saw the Ibarra coming, you know, closing that gap to Danny Sanchez. But take a look at this final restart here. And side by side, looking really good there, Joe. Take us through it.
Yeah, some great racing right here. We want some better camera angles, though. And of course, it didn't save anything. So there we go. Look at this battle for the lead right here. Able to get underneath old Lawless there to the white flag and now lead the race on the last lap. That's exactly what you want to see. If you are Danny Sanchez, clutch move, able to get the move done to win the race right there when it mattered most.
Guarded the bottom in 3 and 4 there. 83 left with nothing to do but to try to attack high, but no momentum right there. The 62 does a great job defending and taking home the victory tonight. So Danny Sanchez, your victor from the Nashville Fairgrounds. Quite exciting to see. We saw it was a race of 2 races Patrick Cowgill had the dominant car for the majority of that race. Then a caution sequence during pit cycles put this race on its head, and Danny Sanchez came out victorious, having quite the car there, taking all comers late, going to get the victory. Brandon Lawless going to have to settle for second place tonight, but a great finish for him. Matt Webb going to round out the podium. Tommy Fox, a great run for Tommy tonight, going to take it home in fourth. Harold Ralph there, we saw him challenge late there on some restarts. The 15 going to bring it home fifth. Brandon Ibarra there, what could have been, gets it home in sixth. Lucas Alves recovers to seventh. Lucian Thompson in the 01 will take it home in eighth. Joshua Nunez, 41 car, had some issues, but a top 10 going to be ninth. And J.D. McGee rounds out that top 10.
Going through the rest of the field quickly so we can get to those interviews. We got Zach Panzarella 11th, Jerry Rose 12th, Eddie Peltz 13th, Chris Cowgill 14th, Patrick Cowgill 15th after leading the most laps, John Ott 16th, Greg Ulmer 17th, Stephen Neal 18th. Want to get straight to it pretty much. See, just so we can get these boys interviewed. So we're going to pull in our third place finisher, Matt Webb, because I see him ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely.
That'd be half the battle.
Going to get him in there.
There we go. There it is.
Absolutely. So tonight we have a special guest. We have our third place finisher, Matt Webb, in the 98. Started 18th. Bring it home for a podium in third. Welcome, Matt.
Hey. Yeah, I did not expect that.
Yeah, so talk to us about it. You know, it seems to be a tale of two races there. We saw Patrick Cowgill with the dominant car for the majority of the race. We saw some cautions during that pit cycle, completely changed the field around, and you were able to capitalize and bring it home in third.
Yeah, I mean, I knew, like, in terms of like raw pace, I just didn't have it. So I ended up getting on a little bit of a different pit strategy than the rest of the field, and people started coming in pits, and like I'd become acquainted with that pit wall earlier, so like I knew how tricky it could be. So my plan was just run it out of fuel and hope for a caution, and it finally came. So that's kind of how it shook out.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's one of those situations where Lady Luck found you tonight. You know, you just running your race, you know, trying to get the best finish possible, like we're all trying to do. And we saw the trouble early. It was a nice recovery. Talk about some of those cautions and some of that late race hijinks there. We saw you battling pretty good, trying to hold those guys off for second for a while there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I was trying not to be a driving roadblock, but you know, at the same time, just trying to like protect my position. You know, like try and like keep dirty air on like alternating cars, like keep them battling behind me. No, it was rough, but you know, I was able to do it. I kind of gave Thomas Fox a little bit of a bump there on the last restart. I didn't really mean to do that, but I think it was just clean enough.
It's just one of those deals, you know, we're short track racing, elbows are out. We're in those final laps to try to get everything that we can. I'm going to turn things over to Joe. He's going to take a little deeper dive with you. Thank you for joining the booth tonight, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so Matt, we saw you early in the race. You got caught up after that wreck that happened. There was no caution. It looked like there was a big stack up. You ended up spun out into the pit wall and had all that tire damage to the car. Had to use the fast repair. It really set you on the back foot. What was your strategy once you ended up back there because of all that bad luck that happened to you early?
You know, like, you know, a place like this, you know, like track position is king. So once I was on a different pit strategy, I really quit racing at that point. I was just trying to protect tires, trying to go as long as possible, and hope for a late caution to try and like flip the field. And you know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And I got pretty lucky.
Yeah, definitely ended up lucky. So, you know, looking forward to some of the races coming up, you know, I'm looking at the schedule, Matt. Is there any tracks in particular, you know, we got I see New Hampshire's coming up, Dover, Phoenix, and of course our road course next week. So I'm sure you're really looking forward to that. Any tracks that really stick out to you?
No, I mean we got through the worst of it. Like if I had to name my two least favorite tracks, it's Nashville Super Speedway and where were we? New Hampshire a couple weeks ago, right? I can't remember, but no, Phoenix. I like Phoenix. Really, in the mile and a half. That's my wheelhouse.
All right, so definitely looking forward to seeing what you can do at a road course next week. I'm sure you're looking forward to maybe a little bit more of a challenge as well. I'm going to kick it back over to C.
All
Yeah,
right.
before we let you go, Matt, is there anybody you'd like to shout out or recognize?
I mean, just like league admins. I'm really new to the league. I haven't really joined a team yet, or anything. But just shout out to the broadcast booth at admins. Thanks for putting this on. It's been really fun.
Absolutely, and we enjoy watching the racing and cover it. Third place tonight, Matt. Congratulations. Looking forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
Tonight's third place finisher, Matt Webb in the 98. Great run for him tonight.
Yep, and looking at who we got left, I think we got our race winner ready to rock and roll next.
Okay, so any word on second place?
I don't see him.
All right, so we're going to go for it tonight. Race winner, Danny Sanchez joins the booth. Welcome, Danny.
Yeah, thank you.
It seems whenever Smoke and Joe and myself cover a race here on Monday nights, you're in victory lane here. Talk to us about that dub tonight.
Well, not really victory lane. This is actually my first win here at the DDI, Arca series. It's been long overdue. I had some very bad luck. Just this year, just haven't really panned out like I wanted to. Then tonight, I was having trouble before the race even started, and got lucky and just found myself in the right, really in the right predicament. Everybody had a pit, and I pitted earlier, and so I had 25 more laps. So I was just going to run it out and see what was going to happen. And luckily, the caution just came out at the right time.
Yeah, we had saw early in the race there on exit of 2, multiple occasions, the rear kicked out on you a little bit. We saw some bumps down there. The car didn't look very happy. You're able to recover nicely. Can you talk to us more about that?
Yeah, the tube out of here is really tricky. It has like a kind of like a rumble strip, real bouncy, and once you get the car in the right spot and you get a lot of wheel turn into it, that it just steps out, and you just kind of have to just ride it out and just hope you don't spin out. That's why you see a lot of these guys just spin off a two. Is just the car gets so upset and then loses air, and you just lose control.
Yeah, so we saw you stay out late during that pit cycle, and then all of a sudden during the middle of that pit cycle, all chaos breaks loose. Patrick Cowgill had that dominant car for so many laps, and then the race flipped in your favor. What were you thinking going through all that?
Well, just trying to just like whenever everybody started pitting, I already knew that I already had 25 laps to go before I had a pit. So I was just trying to maintain speed and maintain tires, and hopefully we get a caution. And when the caution came out, all I did was just concentrate on just making clean laps. Don't try to get the ass end to step out of two. And just, I knew those guys was going to get tires whenever they got the lucky dog. And I knew whenever Laws got second, I knew we're in trouble.
Yeah, we definitely saw him coming there. He was starting to chip away at that gap, and then the caution started coming out late. You were able to defend really well on that final restart. Take us through that.
Yeah, I kind of snookered him on the first restart and got the jump. Then on the second restart, he kind of got me, and I was like, crap. I knew whenever two, I was so tight off of two because I went too low and just washed up the nose. Then when I went at three, I was going to drive it in deep, use him up, but he kind of drove in deep too, and he lost the front end, so he had to back out of it. And that's whenever I had, when I cleared him, that's when I knew I was all right because he wasn't going to take me out or spin me or nothing like that.
I'm going to turn things over to Joe. He's going to go for a little deeper dive with you. Race winner joining us tonight on the broadcast, Danny Sanchez.
Yeah, so Danny, looking at the points, the looks like the drop week went into effect. You went from 30. You didn't lose any spots, gain any spots in the points because of how weird the whole drop week thing works. Even though it says you gained 3 spots, I know it kind of makes things look a little bit weird. But you went from 31 to 13 points back halfway through the regular season now. I know you got a road course coming up next week and some other difficult tracks. How do you think your chances are of going up against your teammate Brandon Lawless and then Zach Panzarella for the regular season title?
And I learned a lot from these two guys, and they're really good. Points racers. They don't ever mess up. If they do spin, they bounce back. They always finish in top 5. And like the goal for like next week is just to finish top 5, if not definitely top 10. Just don't lose sight of them too. I know I'm gonna lose a little bit in these road courses, but the other races we can make it up right there. With the stage points and stuff like that. But being 13 points back, that's really good. Where I came from, in the start of the season, I was way back there, just had a bad couple of races, in a row.
Yeah, so definitely see you turn it around here. Congrats on getting the first win for yourself over here in DDIRL. So I'm glad to see you get on the board in the Arca series. I'm going to kick it back over to C for any sort of closing thoughts.
Yeah, Danny, before we let you get out of here, just your thoughts on the rest of the season and heading into trying to get that championship, and then anybody that you'd like to shout out before we let you get out of here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. I mean, this is a good group of guys that we race against.
We are back in action, having some major serious technical difficulties with all the weather events, but we will not be denied. We do apologize for not having the end of our winter interview with Danny Sanchez, but we do appreciate him joining us in the booth. We are hard-fought victory for him. Glad he took out the time to talk a little racing and give thanks to all that he races with and to the league itself.
Actually, you know what?
But now
we move real quick. Actually,
we move on to something else here, just to give you a quick recap.
Hold on. Did it save the screenshot before we left? Let's see. Oh, we got the screenshot. See, don't worry. Hold up. I just have to resize it.
We have the screenshot.
Yay! Yay! There it is. Let's go, everybody. There's the points. Oh, you can't see him because you're not seeing my screen, so I guess I'm just going to talk about him real
Joe,
quick.
tell us about the points, as this broadcast is completely devolved, and it's pure chaos here, so we're just going to wing it. F it, we'll do it live.
So Zach Panzarella still leads the point standings. All the positions, because of the drop weeks and everything, are all messed up. So Brandon Lawless is still in second. He's 5 points back. Danny Sanchez, like we were talking about, now in third, 13 points back. No Mark Zabak tonight, but he gets the drop week event, it looks like, so he's 31 back in fourth. And you got Tommy Fox in fifth. Calgill with 3 starts in sixth. That's Patrick. Christopher is in seventh right now. Gambrel 8th. Lucian is in 9th. And then Wybera rounds out your top 10 after tonight. Looking at some big names a little further back, I see Pelton 11th. He's tied with Matt Webb. Jerry Rose 13th, Lucas Alves 14th, Harold Ralph 15th. We saw these guys all race tonight. JD McGee in 16th, Josh Nunez. Jared Kelly not starting, he's in 18th. John Ott started tonight, he was 19th in the points. Let's see, we got Wayne Newman, Joey Kennedy, got Austin Rayburn, Kevin Kyle, Matt Smith, Howard Stevens, Joe Quinn, Trevor Woodward, Greg Ulmer, and Stephen Neal rounding out your 29 cars in the field of points. And now that brings us over to what you don't need to see a screen for.
Absolutely. So tonight is a double header of sorts. We started out here with the DDIRL series at Nashville Fairgrounds. We're going to transition and follow up this double header with the nightcap at Nashville Super Speedway with the Moonlight Racing League's Monday Night Mayhem Next Gen Cup Series. And we have a wonderful sponsor with us tonight. It's Hunter Hall. He drives in the Monday Mayhem Cup Series, and he really wants to bring to light a topic of discussion that us as racing fans are very passionate about and wants to shed some light on that subject. So we welcome Hunter Hall to the broadcast. Welcome, Hunter.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, we're doing great. We're not going to be denied. With technical difficulties, late winter, early spring weather is not going to hold us down. We're going to talk racing. We're going to show racing, and that's just how it is around here. Thanks for taking the time out tonight.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me.
So, so we know that you're one of the top talents in MRL. You race week in, week out in the Cup car. Passionate about iRacing in general. But tell us more about what's going on in your backyard there in real life with the Nashville Fairgrounds.
Well, guys, we've got a little bit of a dilemma. There is early phases. It just started the second step of the legal process. But the racetrack, the Nashville Fairgrounds, is actually got a petition going to remove it from the city's charter system that protects racing as an activity. Um, there's a lot of new neighborhoods in the area that aren't super fond of the racing that only happens 10 times a year on Saturday nights. But there's also a soccer stadium that got built right next to the fairground stadium. So there's definitely some economic push to have that space not used for racing. And I just think it'd be really unfortunate if that was to take place. There's a that track is the second longest operating racetrack in the country right now, behind only Indy Motor Speedway. And I was born and raised in Tennessee. I love this state. I love racing. Unlike a lot of the people within the league and stuff, I actually got into this sport as an adult and was lucky enough to have the fairgrounds right in my backyard and be able to take my kids to it on a night off and pay $10 and kids get in free and see some good local kids racing. Josh Berry, he's racing right now in the Cup Series, and he spent year in and year out in the Legends cars there. Sterling Marlin, all three Earnhardts that have been in NASCAR were racing there. Richard Petty actually has the most NASCAR wins there, and it just sure would be a shame to see it be a parking lot. And there's going to be a vote later this year um, to determine the future of the fairgrounds. So the more you can talk to your friends and family in the Nashville area, the better odds it has. So that's it.
Yeah, so to open the broadcast, Joe and I talked about this being hallowed grounds in the circles of racing. They have YouTube videos out there with the NASCAR classics showing guys like Bobby Isaac, Bobby Allison, and Richard Petty, and all of the guys of the golden era racing there, and with such history. And even in recent years, you saw Darrell Waltrip at city council meetings pushing to save the fairgrounds, find a way to have NASCAR return there. This would be an absolute shame. I see this more and more across the country with local short tracks and tracks of a certain era just going by the wayside in the hopes of progress or development. When you build neighborhood and housing and commerce with a racetrack right there, you kind of know what you're buying into. So it's kind of a shame that we can't share the space and all get along together. It's not like they're racing day in and day out, blaring your eardrums out, but also you chose to live there.
100%, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think the soccer team actually this past Wednesday night, Lionel Messi came to town. Probably one of the biggest names in soccer. There wasn't any issues having enough space for that size of a crowd and the fairgrounds track right there with it. So I think, the coexisting thing is more than possible.
Yeah, you can hear the decibel levels from a professional sports stadium in the distance, just as well as you can hear cars racing on a track. So noise pollution is noise pollution. It's one of those circumstances where I know Nashville is becoming a really hot spot, a big developing area, and I know that's prime real estate. So usually money talks in these situations, but still there has to be something for preservation. And I'm going to turn things over to
There
Joe.
will be, man.
I'm sure Joe has a few things he would like to say on the subject, but we really appreciate you bringing this topic to light and bringing awareness because, racing is in all of our blood. That's why we're here on iRacing and why we watch it in real life.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I don't really have any sort of questions. I know I've been watching this one in the background, especially on Twitter with the Save the Speedway and stuff that's been going on the past couple of years, and it always baffles me when people buy land and real estate in these areas when there's a track that's like 30 feet away from them. It's like, what did you expect to happen? Like, there's a racetrack right across the street. When you buy this land, it's right there. You can see it. It's not hard to spot a big racetrack. I mean, I know Nashville Fairgrounds in comparison to others isn't that big, but it's big enough for you to be able to notice it being a half-mile long racetrack. So I just always get very baffled when people and city councils and stuff, when you come in and you buy real estate in an area where there's been a racetrack for so long. Like, what are you thinking coming into the area? Like, I just get very irked by it because why are you trying to change something that's been that way for so long and the track still gets used? NASCAR was talking about coming back, so that would be really cool if something like that happened one day, but got to get past all the city council stuff first. I know this has just been one that's been very disappointing to see from the outside, especially how close we were to really getting something with all these other tracks coming back, like North Wilkesboro, Rockingham. Now we got Bowman Gray as a NASCAR track because they own it, so just very sad to see.
So, we're talking about this, Hunter, and what can us as observers that aren't Tennessee residents or residents of the greater Nashville area, what can we do to help out? Is there a
Well,
petition or something we can get involved with at the grassroots level?
the petition is in opposition, so you wouldn't want to sign a petition. As the law sits right now, it's protected. There is a Cars Tour race in April that Dale Jr. is actually going to be running his number 8 in. And I think the bigger the ratings for that event, the better, to bring more attention to that racetrack, and that's national eyes. I think the better that event goes, the more likelihood that NASCAR could maybe finally sign that commitment to putting money into the racetrack. And but right now we're just in the early phases of it. We'll know sometime this summer if we'll have the vote in November, and if it comes to that, just call every person you know in Davidson County, Tennessee, and let them know what to do.
Yeah, we'll definitely have our eyes glued to that, and we'll try to tell everybody we know, and just keep track on social media, and hopefully the right eyes are watching the situation unfold and can protect racing, because as we've seen before, Auto Club probably the biggest glaring example where you see greed outweigh love of sport. That whole site probably will never see any type of racing again, not even the short track idea that was promised. So I'd hate to see the same thing happen here. It also looks like I don't think Kentucky Motor Speedway is ever going to come back either. They have a similar issue with trying to find ways to maybe rezone and potentially sell off that land. And then Joe, you saw even a few years before that Chicagoland. I know NASCAR is coming back this season, but even that track was in peril with the potential of selling off that real estate.
Yeah, all these tracks always been under fire. Unfortunately, especially at the time when the next gen's actually doing really good at mile and a halves. Three of the best, or two of the best mile and a halves, and then third, Auto Club was one of the best races as well in the next gen. So Chicagoland, great to see that come back. Losing Kentucky, potentially overall, going to be a huge gut loss, in my opinion, because I think the next gen could put on a good show there. And of course, losing Auto Club after so many good races there, including the last one in 2022, if you remember.
Yeah,
Or
that
20
surface
or
was really
23
coming
there.
into
Yeah,
its own there.
Kyle Busch won
They're doing
won
the
the last race.
the five wide salute. Yep.
Yeah, Kyle Busch won in the
So,
last race there. Very cool to see. But
So we do see a sad precedent being set. So hopefully, like we said, without keeping regurgitating and repeating ourselves, we can save the Nashville Fairgrounds. It's entrenched in history. It's entrenched in tradition, and NASCAR should not forget its roots, and they should try to do what they can to make sure that council leaders, decision makers, and those that protect the speedway keep sharing that similar sentiment. So, Hunter, before we let you get out of here, anybody you'd like to shout out or any final words, as we do appreciate you taking the sponsor seat for this doubleheader tonight and bringing awareness to this very important topic. I think Hunter had the mic drop moment, Joe. He's already said everything that needs to be said, and I agree with him 100%.
yeah, definitely a great cause to really get involved in. Hopefully, able to get something done. Make sure that the track stays as it is. So, just like Hunter said, make sure you go out, get the views up, be at the track for Dale Jr.'s Cars Tour event there. Get it done.
Right, and prevent the coconut heads in Davidson County from doing the wrong thing. Agreed. Final thoughts before we wrap up this broadcast and set our sights on the Monday Mayhem Cup Series at Nashville Superspeedway to bring this doubleheader to its main event.
Yeah, good race here tonight. A little
Sure
bit
was.
of chaos in the middle. Really flipped everything upside down. Danny Sanchez took advantage of everything that happened tonight. Get his first win. Congrats to him. But really great racing overall. Short track stuff. You know, you tend to see some short track racing like that happen. But really interested to see, you know, if maybe with a couple more laps and maybe a little different track conditions, if that second lane really opens up a little bit more with this car.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that the DDIRL series returns there. I think it put on a great show tonight, and it was always fun being in the booth with you covering these events here. The Monday night DDIRL series is just a fantastic space for competition, and you know it could be anybody's race any week. And thoughts moving on to the Cup Series before we turn things over to Mean Gene Money and Zach Panzarella.
Yeah, we got Nashville Super Speedway tonight, so that'll be an interesting show with the new short track package. Car drives genuinely a lot tighter, but also a lot more power, so a lot easier to spin it coming out of the corners. We'll see how guys are able to adjust for a short run and then able to save their tires on a long run.
Yeah, big shout out to Jordan Fisher and Zach Panzarella putting together that track guide video for NSS, VRN and Fish Speed. Great collaboration. So I'm looking forward to seeing that on a weekly basis to try to help those of us who are always looking for any tips possible to do better as a driver. Folks, we're going to leave you here. Be sure to tune in a little while for that Monday Mayhem Cup broadcast. And for my partner in the booth, Smokin' Joe, we love covering this series. But just remember one thing, go fast or get past.
Good luck, guys. Let's have a good first race of the season. And, of course, let's make it a good one.
step, a jagged refrain. Crawling through the static haze, burning skin against the blaze. Is it worth it to keep moving when the edge is calling me? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static. No turning back. Push pain, every scream, every scar. I find out who we really are. Fists clench against the grind, blood and sweat, it rewinds. Echo scream, can't ignore. Walls crumble, show me more. Will it end here or go deeper? What's the cost of breaking free? Push past